Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey, everybody. Today I want to talk to you guys about perception. And there's a perception, the two types of perception I want to talk about is the perception of reality and then the perception of social media. What's the nickname for Facebook?
Fakebook.
Fakebook. And I don't know if there's nicknames for, I think Instagram, they call it Instagratification. Instagratification. Here's the deal. What I want to share with you. It's really, there are two types of people in the world, and sometimes they're both. There are the people that are really good at marketing themselves as whatever they might be on social media. Mm-hmm. But the reality, when you meet with them or do business with them, they're like, what the heck is going on here? I feel like I got catfished with what I saw on social media versus what the reality is when I started working with you. And specifically, I just want to talk about real estate, because here's the good news about social media. The barrier to entry is very low. And it's
also very low for entry for realtors.
It is for realtors, but mm-hmm. I don't think you need to take a 60-hour course, pass 3 tests, and get regulated by an agency to make a YouTube video.
No. So
I don't think you need to take a 60-hour course, pass 3 tests, maintain all these licenses, take all this continuing education to do Instagram.
No.
I don't think you need to take a 60-hour course, pass 3 tests, 20 hours of continuing education every year, and pay all this money to keep your license to make a TikTok video. The point I'm making is that we may not be the best at social media. I'm going to tell you that right now. We may not be the best at social media, but I guarantee you we are going to be better than 99.99% of the realtors anywhere in the state of Hawaii. And I'm not just saying that to say that. We've been doing this for 20 years. So question number 1 for any realtors you're interviewing, how long have you been in the business? Now, don't mistake length in the business with time on task or numbers of transactions that I would say is an indication of experience.
Well, the level of mastery for anything.
It's 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
So 10,000 hours. We're probably closing in on that really good. And I'm not talking about having your license for 10,000 hours. I'm talking about it's like owning a violin for 10,000 hours but never practicing. That does not make you a concert violinist at the highest level. It's actually time on task. So what's been our time and task for the last 20 years? Over 1,600 transactions that Adrian and I have been involved with. Trust me, have we seen everything? That would be impossible.
We've seen a lot,
but
though.
We've seen a lot.
Yes, a lot of interesting situations.
If we had a reality show called the Team Lally Real Estate Show, it would be very interesting. And I don't think all the writers on the planet Earth could come up with the creative situations that we've come across over the years. But at the end of the day, there would be one constant theme that the writers would write about is that Team Lally's favorite site, regardless of the situation, the favorite site is figureitout.com. There's another version of that, but this is a family show, so I'm not going to go to that site, but we figure it out. I think the key is what Tony Robbins said. Is it a lack of resources or a lack of resourcefulness that stops people from achieving high levels of success? Which ones, A or B?
It is a lack of resourcefulness.
Yeah. Because people will say, I'm not good looking enough.
Which, by the way, Tony Robbins is going to be coming to the Keller Williams annual conference. And
so if you're not a KW
we're
agent,
very excited about that.
Tell you what, if you're thinking about coming over, we'll pay for you to get what is it? What do we pay for?
Well, it depends.
We pay for the ticket.
It depends on who the agent is.
It's your level of production.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not a grumpy, grouchy person, sorry, no grumps, no grouches.
So anybody from any brand can come and attend and see actually both Tony Robbins and Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins was she was a CNN correspondent. She wrote a book or came up with a concept called I think it was like a countdown. I don't know if it started from 10, but you're feeling low and you're in the bed. You just do a countdown like launching a rocket. 10, 9, 8, and you just blast yourself out of bed, bounce off the ceiling, and get on with your day.
She also has an excellent podcast.
Yeah.
And
they're not married. They just have the same last name. But anyway, they're going to be...
Interesting fact.
Yeah, what's the interesting fact?
Robbins is my middle name.
Yeah, Adrian's middle name. Yeah, interesting fact. You know what? That brings up another point that I was thinking about our listeners from the last show to today. We need to be sharing at the beginning something individual about ourselves personally so that people can get to know us a little bit. You know, with a name like Attilio Leonardi, you guys think I'm like a world-class soccer player. I'm mediocre at best, and people think I'm from the mainland. I'm not. I'm a native Hawaiian. The Kamehameha School's graduate, and I live on Hawaiian homes. And born and raised here, right in the island of Oahu, and spent most of my life growing up, or the formative years, from Hanabata days to when I left to go off to college in Hauula on the North Shore. So, what about you, Adrian?
There was another interesting fact. We attended the luncheon for the Kapolei Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and Attilio was the first president for the Kapolei Chamber, and we looked at the picture.
Yeah, there's a picture in the Kapolei magazine. I'm standing right next to Mary Mufi Hanenman.
You look like a midget next to him.
I look like, hey, we got to be
a
PC.
little person.
I look like a little person. He looks
so
like
tiny.
Andre the Giant, and I look like one of Santa's elves. Literally the top. I'm not a short guy. I'm 5'11". See, if I had an ego, I would say I'm 6 feet. But I'm actually 5'11". And so that's what it says on my license. And I'm standing next to him, and my top of my head comes to his shoulder. He was actually resting his elbow on my head. He's like, Attilio, I'm so glad you're the president of the Kapolei Chamber of Commerce. I needed some place to rest my beer, which was on your head. But yeah, that was 15 years ago. You know, the amount of people, I think housing, I looked at some of the stats, went from 20,000 to 60,000. In the 96707 zip code.
We've had a lot of growth on the west side.
Yeah. So here's something personal about Adrian. She got here via the Uncle Sam. You was on the Uncle Sam airplane because you joined the military right after 9/11. You was super motivated. You was all gung-ho, hoo-ah.
Airborne.
How many times chump?
5 jump chump.
5 jump chump with the airborne school jumping out of the airplane. I won't even do it once. She'd tell me, we got to go.
Let's go.
Skydiving. I'm like, do it again. No. 11 people died on the North Shore. No.
Well, what are the chances of that happening again?
For me, 0. Because I ain't going to be jumping out of no airplane. The highest thing I'm going to jump out of is the box at F-45. It's about 2 feet off the ground. That's it. So
Attilio has a fear of heights or jumping
out
of something high.
I have a fear of dying. So the point being is one last thing here. We got a couple of different, usually we call our vendors. They're all, this holiday time, they're all out shopping or something. They're on Prime. But if we have any other, do we have I think we got Jake. No, Jake is not on line 1. That's an old message from last week's show. I got to get up to speed. But nobody's picking up their phones, but that's okay. They're all shopping.
We got plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? Hold on. I never scrolled down. That's why. Hold on.
So, while you're scrolling.
We got Bradley.
Well, let me read this review and then we'll
bring Bradley
on.
Before you bring on Bradley from Allstate Insurance, go ahead and read the review.
Okay, so this is from Ricky Menard. So, what he has to say is
I thought you said Nicki Minaj.
Ricky Menard.
Not Nicki Minaj?
No.
Oh, okay.
But if she's listening, we'd be happy to help you, Nikki.
Yeah.
So Team Lally's Ashley Ezel did some serious grinding to find us just the right home to meet our needs.
Yeah.
5-star quality through and through. Good job, Ashley.
What do you mean grinding? She had a pepper mill?
Yes, she's grinding.
Grinding the pepper. That's an interesting story. After Bradley, we'll tell you about this interesting story. We used to do spousal interviews. So like if we interview.
We go for dinner.
We go for dinner with the spouse because we say, hey, how can we support you in this new endeavor with your spouse? We learned this from Fortune 100 companies, but we have an interesting story about a pepper mill at
Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory in Kapolei that we will share with you after we get some nugget of wisdom from Bradley. He is the king. He is the MMA world champion of the moment of truth. Bradley, are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
What you got for us this week?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I got some news that, we do have somebody that was involved in a recent fire off of Keomoko.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is, we do a lot of reviews in our office.
Yeah.
But so important, we said it after the unfortunate Maui fire. But check your condo and homeowners and hurricane policies, and make sure that you have sufficient rent loss coverage.
Mm-hmm.
It's also known as additional living expense if it's an owner-occupied property. Very, very important because, I have a lot of people now saying, I didn't realize, I'm getting $4,000 a month in rent, and even a year is not enough to cover my rent loss for certain instances. So, it's very good to review that with your insurance agent. Ask them, how much do you think I'm going to need in order to endure a fire or a hurricane? Or recently a tree fell on a client's roof and it was unlivable for 10 months. So, it's very, very important to review your rent loss and additional living expense coverage with your insurance agent.
Yeah.
Now, Bradley, you and your team will review anyone's policy, correct?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes people have quoted with us 3 years ago and they'll say like, you're so expensive. We tried before, but it's, the rates change.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people have rate increases and sometimes we drop our rate. So it's always good just to review and check back in with us because you never know.
Check in with Dr. Bradley.
And then also, like, Bradley and his team will, share with you, like, hey, like, that's a really great, pricing, you should stay. So he wants the client's best interest, not necessarily, come over to him if it doesn't make financial sense.
Well, he's like the no can.
Yes,
no can.
But double check, because like you said, things continue to change.
Yeah. All right.
In fact, when we talk about the moment of truth, the house where the tree fell on the roof.
Yeah.
It wasn't even my insured, so it's, I don't typically do that a lot because I'll refer it back to the agency, but always, if you have a claims question, I'll be more than happy to even,
give a second opinion.
Direction.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to step on toes either, but sometimes it's just to get some information like, hey, what do I do in this case? I'm getting nowhere.
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to help. This morning, there was somebody that got hit by an Enterprise rent-a-car driver.
Yeah.
And he's at a standstill. And I said, okay, you got to get the Enterprise estimate, get the adjuster's estimate, submit it to the butt end fender because it's not matching up.
Yeah.
The butt end fender is much higher than what Enterprise is willing to give them. So I said, you got to show Enterprise in the shop why there's a disparity. So you got to get the shop all the estimates and work from there. So he said, "Oh, hallelujah! I got an answer, and we found out where the differences were." And it's an Enterprise claim. It wasn't even an Allstate claim, but we got some answers.
Well, you were helpful for them and teaching them the questions they should be asking that they don't even know they should be asking. Yeah.
Correct. And that was it. That was his response, right? I don't know insurance, and Enterprise is making it sound like I should know this, but I don't understand it. What do I do?
Well, the best insurance is the one you never have to use, but then when you got to use it, you're like, oh, what is this? What is that?
Well, Bradley speaks.
I don't understand.
Bradley speaks that language, so just call Bradley and he'll explain it and walk you through it.
Yeah. Thanks, Bradley.
Thank you, Bradley.
Bradley is the Google.
Go check out Attilio's van. That really caught my eye. I used to be a Volkswagen van lover.
Oh, yeah. The van again. 1983, 77,000 miles on them. You can sleep in this car. It's the least expensive housing on Oahu right now.
That's right.
All right. Have a nice holiday.
Yeah.
Thanks,
thank you
Bradley.
so much. Yeah, we did if folks, hey, don't get all upset when we're talking about the cost of living in Hawaii right over here. Because, hey, you know what? There's one thing we cannot change, how expensive it is to live here. But there's one thing we can change, our sense of humor about it.
So you did a couple of videos.
Yeah, I did a couple of videos. I did one on I got the idea of hey, maybe we should move into the sewer because, we had the missile crisis and we was all going into the sewer system. I'm like, hey, maybe we could live like that. That was like,
Maybe-
Hunger Games was, I think, was like District 2 or whatever. They live underground. And then I said, oh, now we get upgrade. We can move into a van again. Use the van again to keep our housing costs down. And then, but anyway, there was something. Oh, yeah, the story we wanted to share with you guys about a pepper mill.
The pepper mill, yes.
Yeah.
And the Cheesecake Factory.
And the Cheesecake Factory. So, what we want to share with you. So, we used to have like 18-step hiring process. I think we trimmed it down to like 5. But step number 15 was prior to the position agreement, prior to the signing of the position agreement, like kind of like the final step. I think it was in the last couple steps we would say, hey, let's go out and have a dinner with the spouse. So we had a dinner with a spouse. And then what I'm going to tell you is something interesting happened when the waiter came over and asked this question, which was,
would you like pepper?
so we're going to share more of those details after we get our update on it's like a surf report for the mortgage industry. And this is coming from our professional surf report mortgage industry expert. Who is that?
That would be Jodie Tanga, the mortgage genius.
Oh, Pacific Road Mortgage. Hey,
Yes.
Jodie.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. We have some data which is impacting interest rates, impacting buyer interest.
Yeah.
First of all, the new loan limits are out.
Okay.
So we're increasing up to this is crazy talk. 1,149,825.
1 million.
So,
the loan limit
1,149,825.
1,149,825. And this is the loan limit for?
It's the loan limit for conforming loans,
Okay.
conventional loans,
Yeah.
meaning you could be putting a minimum of 3% down and be borrowing 1,149,825
Yeah.
as a loan amount.
Wow.
Wow. What was it before?
Yeah. 1,089,000.
1,089,000.
So, yep. That's crazy in itself. The
Yeah.
1,089,000 is crazy. Before that it was about 916. Before that 825. Before that 719. Before that 625. So this is like year over year.
Seems like a
increases.
trend. Probably following the
Yeah.
median sale price.
It's nice that they take
Right.
the Hawaii price points
Yeah.
into, account when making these changes.
Now, if you're thinking $1 million is crazy to buying one house, we have one Vanagon with you can sleep in, 1983, 77,000 miles on it.
There's room for panels.
Yeah, you can put a solar panel on the roof and then, charge up your phone while you're sleeping at Kewalo Basin parking lot or something. Anyway, so
Back to Jodie and her mortgage tip.
yeah. So that means that people with the 3%, they can be qualified for more or finance more
Yes.
without having to come up with so much money. But so that's about almost 40,000 down. I'm trying to do the math at 3%.
More than that.
Oh wait, 300. No,
What's the minimum
Well, you
down, Jodie?
you
on
said
with the max?
You said 3% down.
Yeah, 3% down. So like if the purchase price was like 1 million 1,180,000.
Yeah, that's like 33,000 at 3%.
And yeah, well, I mean,
So you could put down 33,000 on $1 million home
That's crazy.
and just finance the rest.
Finance the rest.
Right.
What kind of mortgage payment is that looking like?
I know.
yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. You're going to have to, maybe hooey up and you obviously have to be able to qualify for that. But
Yeah.
for a lot of people, the down payment is the issue. For a lot of our multi-generational families
Yeah.
where you have multiple generations contributing to the mortgage payment. But I just hopped into my little system.
Yeah.
So let's see if if we're looking at 1149 loan amount at about, let's just use a 6.75, you're probably talking about, that's like 7,900 a month.
7,900. So it's like 2 adults plus the 3 adult children. Divide that by 5. Oh, it's not that much.
Yeah.
High cost of homes in Hawaii is bringing families together. Because you all got to live in the same house. I think the couch should go for about $1,500 a month. If you have a walk-in closet, about $900.
What about the understair storage?
The Harry Potter room.
Yeah.
Harry Potter room, I think because it creates a creative environment where maybe you can do some journaling. Maybe that one, maybe $2,200 for the room underneath
What
the
about
stairs.
the shed in the backyard?
Shed in the backyard. Oh, that's a standalone. Privacy, mankind cave. That one, maybe $2,500.
Okay. So it's workable.
Yeah. Separate entrance. It's you guys didn't know that they was making ADUs down at the Home Depot in the gardening section. You can buy one shed. But don't put grandma out there. She gets to have one of the rooms inside the house.
You could put like the teenagers back there.
Yeah, teenagers can go back there. But put a Nest Cam on them. Keep them out of trouble, and you got to keep an eye on them. Keep a Nest Cam on them. Adrian, Jodie, anything else?
I did want to mention that in terms of like what is happening with the economy.
Yes.
Just to simplify things, reports do support that the economy is slowing down.
Yes.
And that is something that we have continued to state is that we need the economy to slow before rates are going to start coming down. So the latest core inflation data came out around 2.3, 2.4%.
Uh-huh.
The goal being 2%. Now, in the middle of last year, we were up in the 8.5 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
So we've made a lot of improvement, and experts do think that we're in the clear for rate hikes. Now, that doesn't mean rates are going to go down, and we don't know how quickly they're going to go down. But we do feel like as far as federal economic policy, there are not any expected rate hikes.
Yeah. Jodie,
all of that is just good.
Yeah, but Jodie, if somebody's asked you, because we want to hear from an expert, because, everybody's taking their advice from 12-year-olds on TikTok, which I don't recommend, but buy a home now on Oahu. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And why?
When rates go down, I mean, everyone is saying this, like the economy and the buyers' demand have been so resilient that what's going to happen when rates do come down is that all the people that were on the fence are going to rejoin the market, which is only
more
going
competition.
to make it's harder and more competition, more difficult to get an accepted offer. I mean, we all remember that, one of my favorite stories is, and I've said this before on the show, but the buyers that are telling me I have a principal issue with paying more than the property appraises for.
Yeah.
I have a principal issue with, going like X amount over asking. And so
now is when you want to be writing offers then. Because that's none of that is happening right now.
Now we're not doing that. So this is the time period that you were looking for, which is not going to be around for too long. Because when rates go down, your principal issues are going to be back in play. So now, of course, you're concerned about rates. But we do all know that we are going to be able to strategically move into a lower payment once rates come down.
Yeah.
as long as you can qualify. So there obviously it's not like, oh, you snap your rates come down, you snap your fingers and you get the lower rate. Like you still have to have the adequate credit score. You still have to have the adequate income. But now at least you already own the physical asset that is building you wealth over time, and you get to get a lower interest rate.
Yeah. Because here's my question for you, Jodie. Can you refinance the price of the home what you paid for it? Can you refinance the price? No. Can you refinance the interest rate?
No, that's going to move. When that moves, moves.
Yeah, you cannot refinance the price you paid for the home, but you can refinance the interest rate.
That's right.
You can refinance the interest rate and get a better interest rate. So here's an interesting fact. In 1973, when interest rates were high, a lot of people at that time across the U.S. were saying, I'm just going to wait. Well, interest rates didn't come down for 20 years. And in that time span, the average median price of a home in the United States quadrupled.
So stop waiting.
So stop waiting.
Let's go.
Stop waiting. Don't be like Attilio, who's no way in hell is getting on that airplane to go do skydiving. Get on the airplane, jump. Buy the house. I tell you right now, Jodie, I put this out there. No one's ever taken me up on it. If your house is not worth more money than what you paid for it 20 years from now, I'll buy it back from you at the original price. I've never yet to have somebody take me up on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jodie, as always, with your mortgage tip of the week.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right. So I think it's time for our break.
Well, before we finish the break, we got to finish the story about
the pepper.
Mill.
Yes.
So we always do, we interview the significant other because we want to make sure they're not connected to crazy. Because then we take care of them. We nurture you in the office. We have this completely growth environment. Then you go home to crazy and get your legs chopped out from under you. It's not a long range sustainable thing. And we're not marriage counselors. We are running a real estate team. So we always try and get a feel for the significant other, and questions we would ask them would be, do you remember the questions, Adrian? Mrs. Long-Term Memory?
No, I don't.
Number one, what do you think what do you think your spouse is going to be doing all day? It's like the movie Pets. When you leave, what the pet's doing?
But let's get to the pepper, though.
And then another question we would ask is, what's the best way that we can support you so that you can support your significant other and having them knock it out of the park with us?
So anyways, the salad comes.
The Caesar salad comes, this big plate, it's a cheesecake factory, so everything there is huge. New York, huge. And then the waiter comes over and says, oh, would you like some pepper on that? Fresh pepper.
Well, keep in mind, too, that she wanted to share some of this salad.
She wanted to share, and she doesn't like pepper.
Yes.
And he goes, yes. And then, the waiter is like cranking the pepper mill. And then he's doing what? He's rotating the plate. And then the guy's going,
the waiter.
And then he's rotating the plate. And he's like going,
the waiter was getting a good workout. And then he had to switch arms.
He said, I've never had to switch arms before with a pepper mill. Usually people are like, and then, okay, thank you. He was going,
there was so much pepper. I've never seen so much pepper.
The people in the other booths were like, I taste pepper. I smell pepper. What the heck is going on? They thought they were getting pepper sprayed. It was like his salad got carpet bombed with the pepper mill. At first we thought, that's weird. We was looking around. Is there cameras? Are we being punked here?
No.
And he ate it. And then the wife was...
He just didn't want to share the salad.
Whatever. And then the wife was all pissed off because she didn't like pepper. And he like carpet bombed his Caesar salad with pepper, and then I think they were like the waiter tapped out, and another waiter had to sub in and switch arms again because he was just going
so much pepper
and rotating his plate. But anyway,
okay, so we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Brendan Garcia, owner and lead attorney of VetLaw.
And if you're going to apply for Team Lally, go ahead.
We'll talk about the assistance that they offer to veterans and common misconceptions surrounding VA disability.
The point being, don't have crazy at home.
Stay with us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, talking with the only real estate agent in your market I recommend. Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Now more than ever, buyers and sellers need an expert to navigate this ever-changing market. And what do you do to stand out?
Hey, Sean, we are a team with over 500 plus 4.9 star reviews, over 1,600 transactions under belt, and 20 years in the business. It's going to take a lot of resources to get a home sold today.
What kind of programs do you offer?
Sean, we offer the guaranteed sale, instant offer close in 12 days, 10K for upgrades, love it or leave it, no hassle listing. No matter what situation the client is in, we've got solutions.
Great update. Thank you for keeping us informed. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com.
Taking one cash offer for your home doesn't have to be your only option. I'm Barbara Corcoran, and especially in today's current market, having a local real estate agent who offers great marketing and options that are customized to fit your needs is smart. In Honolulu, the agents I trust are Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardo. They can give you a guarantee to sell your home, flexible fees, or up to $10,000 in cash to help with repairs. Get the option that's right for you. Go to teamlally.com.
If you're looking for an outstanding insurance agent that will personally help you during the moment of truth, we recommend Bradley Maruyama with Allstate Insurance.
So, Attilio, what do you mean by the moment of truth?
Well, the best insurance is the insurance you never have to use, but we know that's not how life works. So when life happens, you can count on Bradley and his team to exceed your expectations for your insurance needs.
Keep in mind that when buying a home, the cost of home insurance should be taken into consideration. I trust Bradley with my own personal home, so you should give him a call. Call Bradley with Allstate Insurance at 591-8016.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrian.
And I'm still Hawaiian and Attilio.
If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Our guest today is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, serving 4 years on active duty between 1999 and 2003. He served on 2 deployments in the Middle East and has since dedicated his time to serving veterans who have been unable to receive the help they need.
Prior to forming VetLaw, he was an attorney working for the Department of Veteran Affairs in Washington, D.C. Please welcome today's guest, owner and lead attorney of VetLaw, Brendan Garcia.
Welcome, Brendan.
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right. So tell us about VetLaw. What is VetLaw? It's not, you guys don't work with like dogs and cats, right? You're talking about veterans of the military.
That is right.
Yes.
That is right. Yes. We represent veterans nationwide and also widows of veterans who have passed due to, military-related conditions.
Gotcha.
Now, Brendan, I am a client of yours, and I work with one of your associates, Emily. She's been super helpful, and I think just like with the interaction that I've had over the last couple years, I've just really been very impressed, and we're excited to share with all of our listeners. We do have a lot of veterans here in Hawaii.
A lot of veteran listeners.
And we have a lot of active duty military. We've got a lot of bases here on our little island.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was important to share with them this amazing resource.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Talk about you guys' expertise to inform us.
Sure. So our law firm's a little different than most because the only thing that we do here is we represent, like I mentioned, veterans and widows, of course, with their fight against VA. Unfortunately, too many veterans have been turned away as they seek the benefits that they deserve. And so what we're here to do is to help make sure that they are able to obtain those benefits.
Now, I noticed you were inside the... You got some insider intel because you used to work for the Department of Veteran Affairs, and going from that to this, was there a situation or what happened? How did you have this path of travel to be doing what you're doing right now?
That's right. Now, I spent 2 years working for VA, as well as some time when I was in law school as well during one summer, and just the daily routine of working for VA and seeing what was happening to veterans, I just felt that I could better serve outside of the department and using that knowledge that I gained to help veterans.
Awesome.
Well, I can speak firsthand from being a veteran and trying to navigate the whole VA disability system. It's quite confusing, and I'm very happy that your firm exists, and you're like the easy button for veterans.
The guide.
Yes, and so I want to thank you for that. And then, with that being said, what are some of the common myths that are about VA disability?
Sure. So one, I think one myth is that, many veterans think, well, maybe I wasn't in combat, so I don't qualify for any VA disability benefits. And that's absolutely untrue. There are so many things that happen to veterans, whether they were in combat or not, so many things they can be exposed to or situations. I think a lot of people have heard of Camp Lejeune and contaminated water. Mm-hmm. They've heard of things like defective earplugs. These are all things that veterans unfortunately have had to deal with, whether they were in combat or not. So, there's all sorts of things that have happened that we can help with.
Well, I personally was not deployed. And I had a couple different injuries while on active duty. Yeah. And, your firm has helped me navigate that. And even more so, I had another injury, and it's all interconnected. And your attorney, Emily, was like, oh, well, you can put in a follow-up claim to that. So there's all these things as, just we're novice. We don't understand how it works. So I just am always keeping her informed with what's happening with my health. And then she lets me know if there needs to be a claim about it.
As a non-veteran, I can say this. I'm happy to have my tax dollars go to veterans as opposed to a lot of the other inefficiencies and bureaucracies within government. Happy to see it go to the veterans that, allow us to have the freedoms we have today.
So,
absolutely, and that's what makes this so rewarding, for me to do, is to see that as well.
Yeah.
So, Brendan, who actually qualifies for your guys' services and just to actually get the VA disability?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us to help, we don't help with what would be considered an initial claim for a veteran, for somebody that has never filed, and so really all we need to see. And of course, we can't help everybody, but all we need to see to tell if we can help someone is that denial letter or that decision letter from VA.
Gotcha.
Right? That they have looked at the case, they have made their initial determination, and they've said no. Or they've said, we're going to give you this, but we're not going to give you that. So those are the kind of decisions we look at to see if we can help someone. There is no minimum level of service. There's nothing like that we need to see. Any veteran that has received a decision, we can take a look at. So
how long does this process take?
Now that's a really good question, and that's something that changes all the time.
Okay.
Some appeals unfortunately take several years, just because of the complexity of waiting on that specific level of appeal. Some may only take a few months. Probably more on average, is a year to 2 years for many cases that stay at a local level. But the time keeps increasing as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, Brendan, why should a veteran inquire? What would be the motivation for them just to have a consult with you guys?
Sure. I mean, there's no strings attached. If you want to talk to us about your case, we're happy to take a look. We've been doing this for a long time. This is all we do. And so send us your information, send us that document. We'll take a look at it, and we'll tell you if we can't help you. Like I said, we can't help everybody, but we certainly look into it as with our level of doing this for such a long time. We can tell you whether we can help you or not, and just kind of give you that free case evaluation on what we can do for you. Yeah.
And I think that's really important for our listeners to understand that this is your expertise. Attilio and I were talking about in the beginning of our show about just like a level of mastery right? And having at least those 10,000 hours put into it. So your firm has a level of mastery in dealing with the VA and specifically the VA disability.
Well, that's their one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So share with us a success story, and then Adrian's going to share hers.
Sure. So, as I mentioned earlier, that we represent widows as well as veterans, and several years ago, I had the pleasure of representing a widow whose husband had unfortunately passed away at a very young age due to some toxic exposures that he suffered in service, leading to some cancer. Yeah. And she had been fighting with VA actually for over 10 years.
Wow.
Believe it or not. Going nowhere, just denial after denial, going through all the levels of appeal. And this case, when I saw it, I just recognized this is someone we need to help. This is just an injustice here, and we were able to, of course, obtain all those years of back pay for her, as well as set her up with her her widow's benefits as well moving forward. And so that was something that she really needed, and that I was very happy to have assisted her with obtaining.
So she was on her own fighting for 10 years. And then once you guys got involved, how long was it before you were able to get her, pushed through the system properly?
Right. So because of the position she was already in, it was a little faster than that some appeals may normally take. It still was about a year and a half for us to get everything in order and get it to a place where VA finally did grant the benefit.
Well, knowing our government, year and a half sounds pretty quick.
Yeah.
I had to sleep overnight at the DMV to get my car registered the other day. I thought I was waiting for Journey tickets. But, so Adrian, your success story is the reason why we have Brendan on the show today. So share that firsthand testimony.
And I've referred your firm to many of my my family members, which are veterans, and team members, and just, friends, clients.
Yeah.
Anyone that I think that you guys might be able to help.
And all our listeners right now.
Yes, and now all of our listeners. So I had a couple of different injuries. One, when I was jumping out of the airplane, broke my ankle. Yeah. And then I kept jumping. And I think they only gave me 10%. And then also did not recognize I had like a severed calf muscle as well while I was active duty. So just going through that process was just, it was confusing. Yeah. And I was very happy to get Emily's help with, filing the appeals and providing the proper paperwork. And, eventually they came back, and now I'm at the 30%, which gives me health benefits, like once you reach that 30%. And since then, I've had a knee injury, and the VA has taken amazing care of me and my knees, offering chiropractic and acupuncture, physical therapy. And I wouldn't have all of that if it weren't for VetLaw. So thank you.
Now, Brendan, people are screaming at the radio right now, or their live stream, or their phone, however they've been listening to this, and they're like, what's the way we can get a hold of you? What's your guys' website?
That's right. It's pretty simple. It's vet.law. That's VET.LAW. You just type that in, or Google VetLaw, and we'll show up right there.
There you go. You'll put that dot in the middle, because maybe... Yeah,
that's right.
That dot in the middle is the end of the sentence of this long journey of you trying to get what you deserve. And it's vet.law. And is it .com?
No, just vet.law.
No, just vet.law. Yep,
oh,
that's
wow.
all.
Easy.
And
very easy.
And Brendan, we are, as we're wrapping things up here, is there anything that, we did not cover or that we should have covered with you during our time together?
No, I don't think so. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your kind words and the people that you've sent our way. I would just say to any veteran out there, if you have thought about what VA benefits may be available, just look into it some more, or give us a call, and we'll be happy to talk to you about it.
Yeah, I'm reading you guys' website. It says Veteran Disability Appeals attorneys serving all 50 states. Mm-hmm. All 50 states. In Hawaii,
that's right,
we get these commercials, like for Domino's Pizza, $5 pepperoni pizza, and then us people in Hawaii, we get all excited, and then right at the end they go, except Hawaii and Alaska. So I'm glad that you guys are not, except Hawaii and Alaska, all 50 states.
That's right. No extra charge.
Yeah, awesome. All right. And then if somebody called you, initial consultation, what is it? It's a phone call?
Yeah, that's right. So we kind of go through a process.
Uh-huh.
It's normally more than one phone call, right? You give us a call, we get some information, we look for some documents, and then we'll do another follow-up phone call and kind of go through them with you. So yeah, it's all typically done by phone, though.
Awesome. Yes. And there's no cost
No.
No cost for the initial consultation.
Yeah.
No cost for us to talk to you about your case.
Yeah.
Of course we do. We're a contingency fee law firm,
Yes.
so if we do take on your case, then our fee is based on the award we get for you.
Yeah.
But for that initial consultation, it's no strings attached. Yep.
Well, I say people should go for it because 100% of nothing is nothing, and a big huge chunk of something is something, and I think you guys are worth every penny to be an advocate for the veterans navigating this very confusing and complicated system that they need to go through. I think it was probably easier to army crawl under barbed wire with live rounds flying over your head than it is to go get your disability sometime, unfortunately. But,
unfortunately, that is so true. It is so complicated, and it should not be.
Yeah, but you guys are making it uncomplicated, stress-free, and probably bringing these veterans and these widows and these families, because some of these, can you imagine these widows with kids?
Yeah.
That the major income earner is gone, and now they're out there struggling. So it's a good thing. Thank you for everything that you all do.
Yes, thank you, Brendan.
Thank you, Brendan.
Yes, thank you again.
All right. Well, that's it. And again, the website, I typed it in. I can't believe it. You don't even
vet.law.
Vet.law. You just don't even put the COM on the end. It's vet.law. Boom. It came right up. That it can't be any simpler than that. Fill in the contact form.
Brendan and his team will reach out.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
How's their follow-up and communication been with you? Pretty good?
Excellent.
Yeah. And we're connoisseurs of communication because if we are not getting back to people and returning calls and all of that, we'd be out of business. So I think they have an unwritten communication guarantee that they will get back to you and follow up. Was the attorney assigned to you, keeping you in the loop,
yes,
letting you
always.
know what's going on? Always? Awesome. And I think they said things like, we can get you more that you wanted to hear, right?
That's right.
Okay. Hey, back to that we are a real estate show. So median sale price of single-family homes last month, October, is $1,100,000. What was the median sale price for condos?
$515,000.
Yeah. So here's the surf report with what's going on in real estate from Adrian and I. We have multiple listings. Our team has multiple listings. We're hip deep in the day-to-day operations of helping people buy homes, helping people sell homes, and helping people invest in homes. And then with one of our preferred vendors for property management, Duke, Kim Han, who you heard on the show all the time, we have an excellent partner that has levels of mastery with property management, over 1,000 doors.
Wow.
On Oahu. So we got you covered. You want to sell your...
And then also we've got another vendor who is mastery level with green energy.
With green energy, yeah. You know what? Time of use is the new billing increase that HECO is putting in place. It's the largest increase in over 100 years. I can't believe it that HECO has been in place for over 100 years. But here's an interesting factoid. Iolani Palace, the royal palace of the Hawaiians, had electricity before the White House.
Wow.
So
that's pretty
kind of interesting fact there back in the day. But, so the king and the queen were like looking at their electric bill and they were flipping out back then. They wish they had solar. But anyway, time of use and what else? So time of use, what is that, Adrian? I'm going to test you. We got 4 minutes left on the show. Go.
So from 9 to 5, it's going to be one rate.
One rate. Just remember Dolly Parton. Working 9 to 5.
And then from 5 till 9, I think it's like double.
Triple.
It's triple.
It's triple, brah.
And then from 9 at night till 5 in the morning,
Double, brah.
Double.
Triple cheeseburger, double cheeseburger. Oh, you like cheese on that cheeseburger? No, I cannot afford because I got to pay my electric bill. So even if you have electricity, even if you have solar right now, have an analysis. We just did an analysis with our friend Caitlin. And you know what she said? What did she say about the analysis we shared with her?
And she also already has solar.
She already has solar.
And she's been considering putting additional panels, but was not really informed or educated on, like, what does it all mean? What are all the tax rebates? Yeah. And how does that work? So she was really excited to, just be educated and understand. And
so what we do is we get you on a Zoom with our good friend Rhino from Hawaii Unified, and his company has installed literally one of the largest commercial solar installs on H-Power down in James Campbell in the whole state of Hawaii. So doing your house is like duck soup. And the consultation is absolutely free. It's 25 minutes on a Zoom. We do an analysis, walk you through the information, no hard sell, just getting you educated. Okay.
On options.
On options.
Soon those bills
changes every year.
Soon those bills are going to be going up.
Yeah.
And then also the other thing is this battery. The battery program is going to be expiring, so you have this
first
bonus.
Quarter of next year.
Yeah, so
you're getting one rebate. Government is paying you to
put over $8,000.
Yeah, they're paying you to put the battery on, so that when everything goes black out, you guys still over there rocking it at your house. Your food not gonna go bad in the refrigerator because your refrigerator is still cold. And everybody gonna come to your house. But you know what you do? Close the curtains so they don't see that you got lights on at your place. But the other thing, last thing I want to leave with you, if you get in a situation with your home and you need to do things to it to get ready for sale and you don't know what to do and you don't have the money to do it,
call us.
Call us because we have a program. We're upfront up to $10,000. We even go more.
If needed.
And to help you get your home ready for sale, to sell it for the most amount of money in the shortest period of time. And it's guaranteed sold or we'll buy it.
That's right.
Garantable Barons. That's our sale. So come check it out. Give us a call.
799-9596.
Check out our website, teamlally.com. We have over 500 plus 4.9 star reviews on Google. Don't take our word for it. Take a look at what our customers have to say. 1,600 transactions, 20 years in the business. Even if you're interviewing other agents, make us one of the people that you're going to interview. You will not.
You won't regret it.
You won't regret it.
All right. Thank you for listening. And thank you to our sponsors.
Jodie and Derek of Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley of Allstate Insurance.
Kenji with Pillar to Post Home Inspections.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke, the man, the myth, Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson of Fine Line Paint Works.
He went and paint my house. Jake with Skyta Construction, Roofing and Solar.
Scott with Zero Res Hawaii.
He went and cleaned my carpet. Amphi with the State Planning Group.
Jason Wu, Attorney at Law.
Jeff with the Loan Depot.
Rhino of Hawaii Unified.
He's going to be installing solar on my home. Kenny with Badfish Carpentry.
Janice of Dream House Drafting.
If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, just go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah Rodriguez, our producer here in the studio.
Yee-hoo.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life
forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed
Sold program. If we can't sell your home with agreed upon price and or time frame, we'll have it bought for cash.
Thanks and aloha.